Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Ukraine-Russia war live. Russia attacking Donbas region on 480 kilometers long front involving 50,000 troops. Ukrainian officials say Russia has launched a large-scale attack on Ukraine's Donbas region in the country's east, attacking along a broad front over 480 kilometers, according to Ukrainian officials. Follow today's events with our live blog. Key events live updates. Ukrainian commander describes the situation in Mariupol. The leader of the last holdout of Ukrainian forces in the city of Mariupol is urging world leaders to pressure Moscow to allow civilians to leave. It is estimated 1,000 people, many of them relatives of the fighters, have taken refuge at a steelworks where they re-sheltering in underground tunnels. Commander of the Azov Regiment Denis Prokopenko says Russia has been using deadly bunker-buster bombs on the defenders and their families. They are continuing to use rockets and every possible artillery shell, including from warships, theaters, maternity wards, schools, hospitals, nurseries were destroyed by those who now promise a secure evacuation. Nobody believes the occupiers. MSNBC analyst joins the fight in Ukraine. Television analyst for MSNBC, Malcolm Nance, who specializes in national security and counter-terrorism, has joined Ukraine forces, saying he has done talking. He has been an analyst with the television channel since 2007, and has previous experience in the Middle East, Southwest Asia and Africa. Nance shared a tweet with a photo of himself in combat attire with the caption "I am done talking." MSNBC says he is fighting with the International Legion of Territorial Defense of Ukraine. Unexploded ammunition collected in Hostomel. An Interior Ministry sapper collects unexploded shells, grenades and other devices in Hostomel, close to Kyiv. Photo by AP, Efrem Lukatsky. How is Ukraine preparing to face the next wave of Russian attacks? Ukraine's military has held firm so far, keeping Russia out of Kyiv and other major cities. Doing the same in the east of the country, where it shares a border with Russia, will be a greater challenge because the Russian forces there are closer to their supplies. Ukraine has called up military reservists aged between 18 and 60 while also stopping men the same age from leaving the country. But there have been thousands of Ukrainians voluntarily signing up to fight against Russia's invasion. And Ukraine's defense has also been heavily assisted by foreign support. The United States recently announced $800 million $1.1 billion, support package for Ukraine, as well as military equipment and training, as the battle in the east intensifies. The United States is planning to teach Ukrainians how to use some of the weapons, including howitzers. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said this training would be performed outside of Ukraine. The United States has previously trained Ukrainian forces on Switchblade drones. Kirby said half a dozen planes filled with military equipment had arrived in the region since U.S. President Joe Biden made the announcement last week. Mariupol continues to be one of the main concerns for Ukraine, with Russian attacks increasing. Kirby said Ukraine's resistance was holding firm, but it was under constant threat. The Ukrainians are still resisting, he said. The city has not fallen to the Russians, but they continue to pound it from the air and through long-range fires. We have seen indications in just the last few days that the Ukrainians not only have defended bravely, but they have been able to secure certain villages and towns in the Donbas. ABC wires. Here are the latest images out of Bucha photos via AP. Why is Russia focused on the Donbas region? Donbas is in Ukraine's southeast and comprises Donetsk and Luhansk regions. It is the country's mostly Russian-speaking industrial heartland, and it is where Moscow-backed separatists have been fighting Ukrainian forces for the past 8 years and have declared 2 independent republics that have been recognized by Russia. In reality, the rebel separatists have taken control of about 1/3 of the region since the fighting began in 2014. The 2014 fighting came during the Euromaidan, a turbulent period of protests prompted by then Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych's refusal to sign a free trade agreement with the EU in favor of closer ties with Russia. Ukraine's next government then excluded Russian-backed separatists from talks about the Donbas region, angering the Kremlin and the rebels. Since then there has been tension in the region, with ongoing fighting between Ukraine and the rebels. On February 24, the Kremlin launched what it called a special military operation in Donbas, but that has expanded into a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In recent weeks, after failing to take Kyiv, the Kremlin has declared that the capture of Donbas is its main goal in the war. After withdrawing from the capital, Russian forces began regrouping and reinforcing ground troops in the